Justin Williams here with another episode of Dirt Time Adventures, and today I'm going over the Pathfinder system Block 6 Part 2. And I'm actually here working around the property today. I got some appointments this afternoon and I didn't want to get off too far in the woods and lose track of time. But instead of just wasting the day away, I figured I'd go ahead and still shoot some footage of some of my camp tools. Part of Block 6 is to build 3 tools for camp, and so I have chosen 4 actually. I've chosen a fire ember bowl, I've chosen a fire tong, I've chosen a piece that I'm going to use for a spatula, and depending on the wood grain after I cut into it, maybe get a spoon out of it, but I'm definitely going to do a spatula, spoon, fire tongs, and the fire ember bowl. I'm not going to have video footage of all of them. Some of them I'm just going to show pictures of, but I still wanted you to get a good idea of each of the tools. The spatula is a no-brainer. I'll probably show you a picture of the wood, and then I'll show you the finished product. But pretty much for the spatula, split it down, and what I'm hoping to be able to do is to baton the outside on both sides here. I'll show you here. Baton the outside here, and then scoot over and baton the outside there. It's hard to show that right there. So there, and then scoot over and baton that, and that way all I got to do is carve out a handle and put the tip to a spatula shape. The fire tongs here, I'm actually doing a large version so that you can see what a small version would look like. And also I'm going to be using these for fire tongs, not just for, you would make a smaller version of this for cooking, this bigger version's for getting coals. And I went ahead and debarked it. You probably don't for just straight up fire tongs, you can leave the bark on. But I wanted you to see what it would look like in a larger size for little tongs. And you would want to debark them for food prep and food usage because the bark has tannic acids in it and you want to remove those. So got that all the way down. I really don't need that much of a handle, so I'll probably saw off the end of it a little bit. But what we're going to do now is go ahead and split it and look at your knots. You're not wanting to have to split through any knots, so find where your knots are on the sides. So that would put it right about there. As I drop it, find my knots again. And we're not wanting to split this all the way down. So you can do a couple different things. One, you can go ahead and do some wrapping around the base where you want it to stop. Or you can go ahead and split it down to where you've carved and shaved off the bark and then add it. And that's what I'm going to do because the key here is you're going to stick a split stick down the middle of it, and before I put that split stick, that's when I will do my wrapping. So find the center. Alright, so there's my fire tongs, and what you'll do is you'll put a split stick in there to help secure that and keep that open, and there you go. And so now I'm going to begin the wrapping process for my fire tongs. So you can actually take your split stick and shove it on in there, and you can lash it in with your frapping, because now you can see the tongs here, and they're real springy. But because it's green wood that I've used to help it keep from burning so easily, this green wood is going to stretch and it's going to expand, and so you may have to change out your split stick. So that's why I didn't lash it in there. And there's your finished setup. And so I got my piece batoned, split it in half, baton the back side of it, and that's going to help cut down on cutting. And this is for the spatula, and now it's just a matter something that you
debarking the rest
really need to take some time to do. So pretty impressed with the Pathfinder trade knife. You know, it is what it is. It's a beater knife. Works really good. They still sell it, and you can't go wrong for $100 for a hand-forged, handcrafted knife. So pretty impressed with it so far. Well, it's been a couple days since I began Block 6 Part 2 of the Pathfinder system, and that is camp tools. And today I've been able to get back out here and start working on some of these tools again. And so I'm anxious to show you guys some of the finished products I have so far, as well as the spoon that I'm going to begin working on. Here to my left, though, you'll see is my fire reflector wall. I shot a Dirt Time tidbit video for that. If you didn't get a chance to watch that, be sure to go back and watch it. And I'll give you guys a close-up of some of the products that I've gotten developed and created so far with just natural materials and a knife. And so there's a lot of things you can do out in the bush with working with your hands, and especially with woodworking, making that a priority in harnessing and honing your bushcraft skills. So come check them out, guys. So we have 3 finished products here and 2 that are in the works. And so to my far right here, I have my Fire Ember burn bowl. And this was a great learning experience, a great process to practice new skills, and pretty much got the center of it burned out. Can definitely put some water in there and burn it. And then I found this rock that I worked out, and it'll work great for making poultices and different things like that. And I also used it to scrape some of the belly of it out. So that's one of the tools. The spatula here, it comes from, you can see the thinness there to it. It came from the other half of this, which I'm going to make my spoon out of. And real nice, narrow. I got a little bit of crack there in the tip, but you know, it came out really nice. I'm really happy with it. The knot kind of gives it some uniqueness to it. And so humidity affecting the wood a little bit, but not too bad. And like I said, I'll use this other half with my spoon knife. I made some tongs, fire tongs here. What I'm going to take here is this birch bark, and I'm going to make a funnel out of it. And pretty much just going to wrap it, clean it up some, make a funnel shape. What I'm looking for right now is something that I can use for a clothespin to hold my funnel in place. Alright, so we'll baton this end piece here a little bit. And once you get it started, you don't have to go very far. It'll start splitting out on its own. Here's the piece that I've shaped into my funnel. Now I'm pretty much just going to slide this piece on there, securing it in place. And now I have a secured funnel with a handle. So 4 of the 5 completed projects. Got my funnel, got my fire tongs, got my spatula, and my Fire Ember burn bowl. So real happy with each of those projects. Now to move on to spoon carving. Alright, so the first half that I had to do my spoon with ended up splitting out on me. So we're going to try it again. A little bit different piece of wood. Not sure how it'll do, but it's a little bit smaller piece, so I'm going to probably make a little bit smaller spoon with it. I'm going to try to go with the natural grain. Well, I'm batoned it and still kind of learning some of my trees as far as from bark texture. And I thought it was more of a hickory from some of the bark, but when I split it open, you can see it looks completely different, and it's got that walnut smell to it. So I'm assuming this is a black walnut, which is rather neat. I'm not sure how well it will make a spoon, because I'm still trying to learn different materials for what they're good for, but it'll be fun to practice with the walnut and see how it works. Now for spoon making, they say a lot of guys will actually draw out the spoon on the wood, but I'm not too concerned about it. I think I'm going to get an idea where I want my bowl, and then just kind of work it from there. I ain't gonna make you guys sit here and watch me carve this whole thing, so I'm gonna show you a little bit different stages of it. So here's what we got so far. You can see the head here starting to narrow down here in the neck and make this into a handle. Gonna make this the belly of the spoon, and then gonna have to clean this up for the handle. Well, she's beginning to take some shape here, and really liking that look, that black walnut, man. I thought about making a real narrow, thin handle for it, but I'm pretty certain I'm going to keep it wide now that I have all that color in it leading up into the spoon area. I've got my taper coming down here on the back, starting to round off the top. It's going to be a pretty piece when I get finished with her if all goes well. Once again, my original goal was to make a thin handled, but I really liked the walnut look in it so much that I decided to keep it. Hollowed it out real well. Pretty much what I'm going to do now is take probably a, gotta love rednecks in their loud trucks. I'm going to take some sandpaper, sand it down, and then put a nice basic finish on it. And like I said, the sandpaper will help get out any of the ripples, smooth it out, and cause that to shine. So guys, this is Justin with Dirt Time Adventures. These are 5 tools that you can make out in the bush. This is Pathfinder Block 6 Part 2, and coming up is Block 7, and we're going to cover understanding your senses and sight, touch, smell, feel, and so it's going to be good, guys. So thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for putting up with loud rednecks driving their trucks, and I got to get to work, so I'm pretty happy with it.